Divine Connections Magazine. Get major exposure for your business. Is someone looking for your service? Do you need networking? Are you a gospel artist or a ministry? Do you have a major event that you want to promote? Divine Connections Magazine has the solution for you. We can distribute to residents, businesses, churches, and online. Don't miss this opportunity to expand your marketing locally and around the world. Find out more about us at divineconnectionsmagazine.com. Get your spot in the next issue of Divine Connections Magazine by emailing us for details at divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com.
Make sure to like us on Facebook at Divine Connections Marketing. Follow us on Instagram at Divine Connections.
Let's get it started now.
Great day, everyone. This is Dolores Williams. Hope all is well with everybody. We do Divine Connections Magazine, which comes out on a quarterly basis in print and online. And you can connect with us on our social media platforms and website. So we have divineconnectionsmagazine.com. Facebook, you can like us at Divine Connections Marketing. On Instagram, follow us at Divine Connections. And then make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Divine Connections. And if you're interested in actually advertising and getting a spot being featured in the magazine, we have some great specials going on now. We have about 10 days before the next, before I shut down the opening spots for the next issue. So if you are a business, as an entrepreneur, gospel artist, and you want to be featured in the magazine, contact me with the email down below and stay connected. The email is divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com. And also what's going on right now is we have Divine Connections nominations going on. So if you go to the website, divineconnections.com/events, you can nominate yourself, whether you're an author, a pastor, a gospel artist, a vendor, and then we'll vote and then awards are given out. So make sure you go to Divine Connections Magazine at gmail.com/events as well. And so today I am honored to have Miss Keisha Wade on the line as our special guest today. How are you?
Hey, how are you? I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. So it says Keisha been released. What does been released mean?
That means God has released me from all my trials, my tribulations, my past, and released me from all of those hurts, all of those pains. I no longer have to carry them. The chains, the shackles, and all of those burdens that was on me, He has released me for that. And I've been set free.
All right. You are free. Awesome. So tell the audience a little bit about yourself and where you're from.
Well, okay. I am originally I was born in Virginia, but I was raised in Roxborough, North Carolina, and I am currently in Maryland. So I live in Maryland right now with my husband and our children. So we live here. And so that is a little bit about where I'm from. I am a woman of God. Yes. That God has chosen to be an encouragement speaker. I'm a domestic survivor, so that is as well about this ministry that was birthed called Release. So God has birthed release through my trials, my tribulation. He released me from a domestic violence relationship, a domestic violence marriage, and I was able to be set free from that. And so asking for forgiveness out of that, and then God just released me, and that's how this ministry was birthed, Release. It's about sharing and encouraging what the ministry do. We uplift, we pray, just encourage, empower each other, purpose of what we can do, what God has purpose for us in our lives to do. And so that's what this ministry of Release is about. So the ministry is called Release. And in that situation that I was in, through my trials, my tribulations, through my past, God released me out of that. And so God says, now you have been released out of that. So the name was formed in the ministry. God delivered me out of a domestic violence relationship.
Wow. That's a phenomenal testimony. So I'm glad God brought you through it and brought you out of it. So you are now free.
Yeah.
and living the life
Amen.
that God has designed for you. That is awesome.
Amen.
All right, so tell us a little bit about your books. You have a couple of books. So tell us a little bit about those. What are the titles, and then what is the information about your books?
So I've been writing these books for, you know, how God gives you a gift to write. I'm an encouragement writer, so I love to write. Those that follow me, Facebook or social media, God gives me words to write to encourage others. And so God had me to create a book, which is called Ben, is it Ben Release? Is the name of it. Ben Release is the name of the book. And so in there it shares about overcoming to tell your testimony, because just because you know through we can others can overcome by telling their testimony, so others will be set free too, because there's
Yeah.
some through the same situation or maybe even worse, and you can share your testimony on how God released you out of that situation to where you are now. So as God released me from that situation, like I said, it talks about the testimony. Then it goes into talking about how you have been released. That means coming into your confidence, coming into the characteristics that God has for you, your purpose, all of those things that you're starting to ask God, you're starting to pray. It's talking about prayer. It's talking about finding your purpose. It's talking about investing in yourself, because nobody is going to invest in you like your. That's what this book is. And it's talking about devotionals to where you can stay encouraged. I know we get down and out, but this book is to uplift, to encourage you to keep going forward, to doing what God has called you to do. So that is one of the books that God has given me. Again, the book is called Been Released.
Okay.
The other thing that God has given me with that, what I mentioned, is a workbook that goes along with it.
Oh,
And
awesome.
it's called Been Released, Invest in My Purpose. So it's talking about investing in your purpose. Sometimes we can invest in other people that we forget about ourselves. So this is a
Right.
workbook that shows about your goals, your settings, and all of that type of stuff. And it's got a calendar in there. And it's talking about, it just says, I will win and invest in my purpose by embracing my confidence, creating new steps, and experiencing transformation. This ministry release is to symbolize with the butterfly. We have to go through a different process. And sometimes the process may be hard, but once you get God get you through that, it will be all worth it of what you've been of what you have accomplished through the process. And so that's about the workbook with that. And then the other one is a purpose journal. So the purpose journal, God talks about in Habakkuk 2 and 2. The Lord says, write the naked plain and run with it. So God has given all of us a vision. He's given all of us a purpose. You need to take and run with that purpose that God has given you. There's so many gifts that God has instilled in us. So that's talking about writing down your purpose of what God has given to you. And also in that, I list about 4 biblical principles. And for the biblical principles, first we need to pray. In order to find our purpose, we need to ask God, God, what is my purpose? So it talks about ask, seek, and knock. Talking about it from Matthew 7 through 8. So you have to ask God, you have to seek God. So that's what this is talking about, and allowing you to write in that journal. And then the next part, when you're praying to God, you're saying, God, what is my purpose? What do you have for me to do? You're able to write in this journal what God speaks to you. God's purpose is the one that will last. And so then God, you begin to pray, you begin to show you your purpose. The next step that you need to do is get prepared. And that's where some people, when I talk to them, as God has called me to be an encouragement speaker, talking to them of getting prepared. There is a long way that people want to either do in their purpose. Maybe it's a business, maybe it's a ministry. God has put in do or in us to do, we have to get prepared. And it takes work. The Bible talks about faith without works is dead. You can have the faith, but you also have to do some preparation, you have to do some work. Journal, you get to write down your process step by step of what you went through, the steps that you had to go through. And that's still part about telling testimony on how God prepared you. So you can tell somebody, hey, I know that you can do it too. And so the other P stands for positioning. So God, you've been God and asking God, God, what's my purpose? He's shown you how to get prepared. You've getting prepared, and now God is going to position you and direct you into what to do, how to say it, where to go, who to talk to. So that's what this journal is talking about, getting your vision down on paper and just writing the vision along with it. The other one that God has given me is devotionals. So this is a devotional that's here. It talks about get wisdom and get understanding. 31 days of devotionals from book of Proverbs. So Proverbs has a lot of wisdom. So we need
Yeah.
some wisdom. And so in this, God had me to read Proverbs, the book of Proverbs, a chapter a day. And so there's a verse from each chapter, along with encouragement to encourage you for 31 days. So that was what God had given me to write all of it, put it out. Instead of holding, God says,
Yeah.
hey, you need to release that so people can be uplifted. People can be encouraged to do what God has really called them to do. And then this is the other way that God has ministered to me to win souls for Christ.
Awesome. 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 So how can people get a copy of the book and get in contact with you?
You get a copy. It is my been released book here. It is on Amazon. So it's on Amazon, and the Purpose Journal is on Amazon as well. Also, you can go and get all of it, including the books that have been released. Stay encouraged, invest in my purpose, to get wisdom and get understanding, as well as the Purpose Journal on my website. So I have a website that's called www.benrelease.com. So that's what my website is. I also have encouragement t-shirts, and I'm wearing one right now, and I can kind of stand up so you can kind of see the shirt that's going to be out,
Oh,
called Been
awesome.
Released, along with the book. More encouragement called Believe in Faith Over Fear that's on my website. Again, website is www.benrelease.com.
Awesome. Awesome. So can you leave us with some words of encouragement? Maybe someone has, in a domestic violence relationship and want to get out, maybe don't know how. And would you like to leave some words of encouragement, or anything that you've been through? You've been through that, and you're in a better place now. And not only that, you birthed ministry through that as well. So leave us with some words of encouragement.
Well, what I want to say, if you're in that situation, like me, when I was in that domestic violence situation, I kind of held back. But what I want to encourage you, you need to go and seek help. Go out and seek someone that will encourage you, that will help you, and to get through that. Don't hold that stuff in, because it only builds up and makes things worse for the situation. But you have to go out and talk to somebody to say, hey, listen, I'm going through this. Don't be ashamed. Do not be ashamed of what you're doing. God is right there with you. Get into your word. I got into my word. I started praying. I started worshiping God. And that's what God did. He started directing, allow God to open up my ears, that I will hear God's voice speak to me. And God to open up my eyes to see what He wanted me to see. My thoughts became the thoughts of God, of what He wanted me to think of. So and then you have to have your friends, your family. You have to have a group of positive people that's going to lift it, that's going to encourage you, that's going to uplift you. I do want to read a poem before you close out. It says, and it simply says, I shall have what I decree, I shall have what I declare, I shall have what I believe, and I shall have what I speak into my own life, knowing what God has promised me. Put yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart, coming from Psalms 37:4. And the poem simply says, I declare I am successful. I declare I am healed. I declare I am blessed. I declare I am delivered. I declare I am wealthy. I declare I am gifted. I declare I am a testimony. I declare I am an overcomer. I declare I am going where God leads me. I declare I am born with an unstoppable spirit. I declare covered by the blood of Jesus Christ. I declare I am confident bold, and more than a conqueror. I declare I am strong. It will be nobody else but me. Stay encouraged. So be encouraged to be nobody but you, and you go out and do what God has purposed in your life to do. You have so many gifts that is inside of you that needed to be released and birthed out, so you can go out and share the gospel of God in many different ways.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So that
And
is
if
my
somebody,
encouragement word for you all on.
awesome, awesome. If somebody was interested in maybe writing books and poems, do you have any resources or nuggets on how they can do that as well?
Yes. So what I do want to say is I self-published all my books. And what I did, I used the Amazon. I went through Amazon. Amazon does have self-publish. So I did self-publish. I do want to say that I am starting on November the 14th. I will have my book launch because my book just released out. Book launch on November the 14th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Anybody is going to be live on Zoom. So if you want to come, I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram as on Facebook as Keisha Wade, and on Instagram as Keisha Been Released. And so you're able to see the flyer, or in contact with me, just go to my website, www.benrelease.com, and it's on there about the information. And I do want to say, a lot of people ask me about how I'm doing the self-publish. I will be doing a mini workshop on self-publishing. So please look
Okay.
forward for, if you follow me on social media, Keisha Wade, I will be coming out with more information about how I self-publish, you as well to self-publish.
Awesome, awesome. That's good information. Make sure you tag me when you put it out.
Okay, I definitely will.
Awesome, awesome. And give them your contact information one more time for us, please.
Okay, you can contact me on social media as Keisha Wade. That's my personal page. I also have a business on Facebook, also on Instagram, Keisha Been Released, and also on Twitter as Keisha Been Released. You can get in contact, pray with you. If you need to pray by phone, listen, God has given me the gift of being a prayer warrior, so I love praying and I love encouraging. So I do have on my website to where you can get into pray. I can pray with you as well. So that website is www.benrelease.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Anything else you want to share before we leave?
You, Dolores Williams,
You're very
just
welcome.
allowing me to be a blessing to be a part of Divine Connections magazine, and miss you. I really do truly appreciate you allowing me to do this interview on today.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for coming and sharing. And thank God that you have just, been a blessing to hear, and for your testimony, that you've come out of your testimony and you didn't stay and wallow in your ways, but you overcame. And that not only did you overcame, you were more than
Amen.
a conqueror, because you put your ministry in the book, and then you lived a life to let people know that you can come out of it, and God is the way and the truth and the light. So thank you
Yes, to
so much.
God be the glory. Yes.
God be the glory. So thank you so much for coming on today. You guys, make sure you stay connected. She has her book on Amazon, so make sure you get a copy of that. She also self-published, and she will be having a book signing. What's the date for that again? November 14th.
No,
She'll have, yeah. So she'll be
November
having
the 14th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
7 p.m. Awesome. So make sure you stay connected, and then
Yes.
if you're interested in publishing a book, she's going to have a mini workshop soon. So you want to stay tuned. She has some great resources and great connections and an awesome, awesome, phenomenal story. So thank you so much, Keisha, for being on today. She's also featured, or will be featured in the next magazine as well, for Divine Connections. So you get to stay connected with her and get to share her good news. So thank you so much, Keisha. This is Dolores Williams with Divine Connections. Make sure you stay connected with the number one connector, which is Jesus Christ. And don't forget, you can get under the nominations going on right now. So if you have a book, if you have a singing group, if you have a vendor, a business, a nonprofit business, you can actually nominate yourself or someone that you know under Divine Connections nomination. And you can do that at divineconnectionsmagazine.com/events. We're doing that until December 20th. We just want to celebrate great people in the community that's making great things happen, and we'll go from there. So make sure you stay connected with the number one divine connector, which is Jesus Christ. And thank you, Miss Keisha Wade, for coming on and being with me and sharing your testimony. You're welcome. You all have an awesome day, and we'll stay tuned. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.